Hey guys, how's it going? Billy here. I think now it's definitely. I think it's been a really long while. Might have been 2 months. I think since I made a video, which is crazy. Crazy. I don't know. Right, 2 months. I think at least a month and a half. I think because I just been too lazy, or maybe just not really had a topic to talk about. Um, I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I mentioned in my last video that I watched this documentary on Netflix. It was like about World War II. It was actually about Hitler, which I found very interesting. You know, this nobody who got into power and then ruled the whole country. You know, it's interesting how that happened, and then pretty much the biggest war in the whole world and throughout history happened because of this guy. You know, so many deaths, which is crazy. This one guy who fucking was a nobody, 20 years before the war started. It's insane. So that I watched that because I there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know about, and I'm glad I did because it was very educational. So since then, I watched a couple of other documentaries, and I think it's pretty cool that Netflix has been making some of these documentaries. It's very educational. Like after that one, I watched another one from World War II because there were still things. I mean, there's always information, that you can learn, like specific information. I learned like the big events that happen, but there's always like little details that you could continue learning. But so I watched World War II documentary, and then the Hitler one, and then there's another one about the Cold War, which was really interesting. It pretty much was like technically the right after World War II, how the Cold War pretty much started, because Russia, or I guess back then it was the Soviet Union, decided to, well, I guess got impressed with the what's it called, the atomic bomb that the U.S. dropped, and so they wanted to make their own. Which, if we got into an actual nuclear war, that would pretty much be the end of humanity. Not just the explosion, but the radiation would fucking kill us. Again, you didn't have to watch this to know this, but it's interesting how that all came about and what events led to like Russia kind of being like the enemy now. So it was very interesting, very educational. Like, I would recommend anybody who has Netflix to watch some of those documentaries. I think they're very good. I watched that. So now I watched those three, and then I watched another one, which was about I guess you can say Wall Street. Not really Wall Street. It was about one guy who like scammed, who did what's it called, the pyramid scheme, one of those pyramid schemes, which was also interesting because I'm in finance and I work in investments and in securities. And this guy's story, how the way he scammed was, kind of interesting, because of the low regulations that they had back then. Not just the low regulations that they had back then, but like the oversight. There was like nobody checking to see if everybody was doing the correct thing. I don't know if it's in the present day. I don't know if it's really any better. I mean, supposedly it is better because they put, they created more regulations and stuff to protect investors and consumers, whatever, protect people. But who really knows, right? If it's that much better, the test will be if anything similar happens again. We'll know if those regulations work now that they added after those events. But so basically, those documentaries I like. I'll probably try to see if I can watch another. Well, I was trying to watch the Vietnam War, but that one's so boring. It had like a 4 or 5 episodes, but I don't know. It felt, it, for whatever reason, that documentary was not that interesting to me. Maybe because it was a stupid war that didn't really impact what we have now. So I watched, I think, 1.5 episodes or maybe 2 episodes, and then I stopped. Like in school, I remember we learned very little about the Vietnam War, and very little about Cold War. I mean, just big events, not specific information. So that's kind of why this kind of documentaries interested me, just to kind of see what I didn't learn in school. And I'm glad I watched the ones I did watch, because again, they're very educational, and I recommend it 100%. Now, going back to anime, most people know or are here because of my Dragon Ball Z videos. So I'm sure everybody has watched an anime before. I haven't really been watching anime lately. Pretty much at all. I don't think any. I don't know. The thing is, there's no. I mean, I could probably search for an anime and watch it, but there's not any anime that has caught my interest right now. There's still a few animes that I'm like waiting for them to add more episodes. Like one of them is like Black Clover, I think that was the name. The other one's the Heroes one. I forgot what it was called. So bad with names. What is it called? My Hero Academia. So I'm still waiting like for those episodes. In Netflix, I mentioned before this anime called Ranma. Is an old anime or an old manga, like really really old, from like maybe 70s or 80s, which I think it's really funny. The original is really funny. In the new version, it's pretty funny as well. They kind of cut all the fillers and stuff, so I think it's pretty good. They're coming up with the season 2 episodes, so I'm probably gonna start watching that soon. But that's pretty much it. I haven't really been watching too much anime. I like it when all the episodes are already out, because I hate waiting. I'm waiting for Black Clover now, even though it takes a long time for them to come out with all the episodes. So I guess it's hard to wait forever, But when I started like watching Black Clover, like it already had like 120 episodes, I think. So I was able to like binge watch that for like 3-4 months, which I like that. I like doing that. I would rather do that than watch like 5 episodes, be like, oh, like this is great, and then wait like a week or wait months to watch it, which that's I don't want to do that. The last thing I'll mention is, I think I might have mentioned this last time about GTA, or maybe the news came out after I made a video that they again delayed the release to like, I think it was November of next year, which is crazy. I think the PS6 is gonna come out before this game comes out, which is crazy. I wish somebody who works there would give us an explanation of why this is. I mean, it could be something reasonable, as they're just trying to make it better, but technology keeps advancing, so obviously there's always new tools to be used, but it's just gonna keep this process of keep improving before making the game come out. It's gonna just not gonna let the game come out, and they're just gonna be stuck in this loop of keep improving the game before anybody gets to play it or try it out. So I don't know what they're doing. I mean, at least we know that it should be really good. No matter what, I'm getting the game. Like I have a PS5, and the only game I really play right now is Fortnite, and that's I don't play. I barely play any video games really. But if I do go on it, it's either to watch Netflix, Hulu, or to play some Fortnite. I don't know why I still play that, but you know, so I sometimes play with my friends, or I try to. And then for whatever reason, I get competitive about the stuff they offer. So I try to get the what's it called, the season pass stuff. So I try to like level up, which is not that hard to do. Like I play like 20 minutes in a day and do the daily missions, and then I hop off, or I play with my friends and then do the missions there. I still think it's a fun game. Otherwise, you know, I wouldn't play it. But I barely play any video games. Maybe some Mario games with friends or and family, but that's about it. Anyways, I'm rambling too much. Again, I'll try to be more constant about video making. I try to do once a week, but sometimes I don't have anything to say really. Whatever. Anyway, guys, hope you are enjoying your fall. And winter's coming next month. I hate the cold. All right, guys, take care.